Get ready for 3 quick and easy spring flower pot ideas. They'll get you ready for sunny days ahead, even if it is snowing outside in your neck of the woods. And as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, my name's Aneka and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So we had a major snowstorm in my city. We were snowed in for a day, we were shoveling for an hour. It was awful and I was like, that's it. It's going to be spring inside my house, even if the outside is like full on winter right now. So today I have 3 quick and easy spring flower pot ideas for you that are sure to just bring a little sunshine into your life. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And everybody hit that notification bell so you'll be ready when my next video comes out. And also, guys, I wanted to try something a little bit new because like I said, I just need some like positivity and sunshine in my life. And I listen to this podcast and every week the host ends the podcast by asking his listeners to call in and tell him what was the best part of their week. And he says, don't be afraid to brag. So I want to try that same thing down in the comment section. Let's just lift each other up and share some positivity. So after you watch this video, head down to the comment section. Let me know what was your favorite DIY and also let me know what was the best part of your week. And guys, don't be afraid to brag. I want to know. It makes me smile every time I hear these stories and I like smiling, so let's just try it. Okay guys, let's get started. Okay, let's craft. So I'm going to grab some scrapbooking paper. You can use any pattern you want, but I chose these pretty flowers because I loved the colors. I want to grab a wide mouth mason jar and I took the lid off and I'm just going to take it and trace a circle and cut it out. I'm going to need 3 of these mason jar lids. You can do as many as you'd like. I would say if you're going to connect them, as you'll see me do later, you don't want to do any more than 3. Next, I'm going to take the lid of the mason jar and hot glue it together. Next, I'm going to take some chalk paint and I chose this pretty green color. It's my favorite color, so you'll see this color a lot on my channel. And I'm just going to paint the lids of the mason jar. I'm going to paint the outside as well as the inside. While that's drying, I'm going to paint some craft sticks, and these are just going to be some supports for my flower pots. However, I do think I came up with a better solution after recording this, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later. Next, I'm going to take 3 flower pots, and I got these from the Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 2, and I'm just going to paint it with some white chalk paint. Of course, you can use whatever color will complement the scrapbooking paper that you decided to use for your project. 2 coats of paint did it for me, and 3 coats on the lids. Next, I'm going to take my circles of scrapbooking paper, and I'm just going to use a little bit of Mod Podge to attach them inside my mason jar lids. And they should fit perfectly. After I've gotten them all inside, I'm going to go back over them with some Mod Podge just to seal it a little bit and to make sure that they stay nice and pretty for me all spring long. Next, I'm going to grab my favorite glue sticks. These are Gorilla Glue sticks, and I just feel like they have a little bit of a firmer hold than the regular glue sticks that you buy. And I'm going to paint all 3 of my lids together. Now, after completing this, I actually thought it might be cute to leave them separate, but I like it both ways. So once you see the final product, you can decide if you want to glue them together like this or leave them separate and have 3 separate little pots for your flowers. Once my hot glue is dried, I'm going to flip them over, and this is where I'm going to use my craft sticks. I needed a little more reinforcement to hold this together, and this worked just fine when I had it sitting on the table, but as I was moving it around the house, I realized I needed a little more stability. So I actually got a paint stirring stick from Lowe's and used that instead, and it worked much better. Next, I grabbed some nautical rope that I got from Dollar Tree as well, and at first I was going to make handles out of the rope as it is, but I decided that it was a little too thick. So I untwisted the 3 parts of the rope and just used one part of it to make my handle. I tied little knots at the end just to make it a little bit cuter and to give it that farmhouse feel, and then I glued them onto the sides of my flower pot holders. I used a piece of rope to do the same thing to the other side. Once I had all of my rope attached, I was ready to add my flower pots. So I put my white flower pots into my flower pot holders, and I just love the way the colors work together with the scrapbooking paper. It's already bright and cheery, and I just love it. I decided to add some words to my pots, and I put "Let Love Grow." I've also seen some things that say "Love Grows" here, which I think is absolutely adorable as well. Or I think you could put basil, oregano, whatever little spices you'd like to grow in your pots. Just make sure if you do that, you do not paint the inside of the pot, because that would probably be a food hazard. After I put my stickers on, I'm just going to go over it with some Mod Podge, and that's it. I added some flowers, I put a little twine around it, and it's just perfect in my house and all ready for spring. Our second project is another Dollar Tree DIY. You're going to get some wax warmers and some candle holders. I got this one because I liked the little detailing that was on the back of it. I'm going to spray paint it anyway, so it doesn't really matter if the colors match exactly. I'm going to take my wax warmer and put it right on top of my candle holders. And there are so many different candle holders at Dollar Tree. You can really just go through and see what you think is going to be cute, and you can make this project your own. I'm going to place my wax warmer right inside my candle holder. Now I will say I'm using Gorilla Glue hot glue for this, and it is holding pretty firmly, but if you're going to move this around a lot, I would recommend using a different adhesive than the hot glue gun, especially if you're going to put this outside. You want it to be nice and sturdy. Maybe try your regular Gorilla Glue or E6000. Is it E6000 or E600? I always say the wrong thing. Next, I'm going to take some of this white gloss spray paint and spray all over my wax melters and my candle holders. Now here are some little white flowers that I got from Dollar Tree. I think they're absolutely adorable, very delicate, and look perfect with this white little flower pot that we're making here. I'm just going to add some greenery along with my flowers. And when it's done, it looks like this. Next, I got some birds and some butterflies that I got from Dollar Tree and some reindeer moss to finish out the look. I love how delicate and pretty this came out. I think these would actually be a perfect little centerpiece for a spring picnic. And for right now, I'm keeping them in my kitchen and I just smile at them every time I walk by. The third spring flower pot DIY that I have for you is something that I've seen all over Pinterest and YouTube, and I just never took the time to figure out how to make them, even though I think they're beautiful. So I'm going to show you guys now, just in case you're in the same spot that I was. So I'm just going to take my paint and pour it inside the jar. Usually when I paint mason jars, I paint the outside because I like to distress it, but I love this look. It looks so clean. It looks kind of like an enamel, and I just think it's really beautiful. You want to make sure that you go all the way down to the edge of your mason jar, and you're just going to twist and let that paint fall as it goes. I put mine on top of some skewers just to let the excess paint come out. Next, I'm going to paint the mason jar lids, and I'm just going to do the ring because I want to make sure there's a space for me to put my flowers. Now, guys, I'm going to give you a warning that I wish I had before I did this project. These things take forever to dry. 2 days later, they were still a little bit wet inside, so I rigged up this little situation on a cooling rack with a fan under it, and that really did make them dry completely much more quickly. So if you're doing this, make sure you have time to let them dry. Now that they're completely dried, I'm just going to decide what order I want them in, and as always, I'm extremely indecisive and ended up changing the order anyway. But for now, this is what I'm going with. I put the lids on top, and then I got some of this nautical rope, which, like I said, I also got from the Dollar Tree. I just wanted to make these a little more visually interesting, and I love rope and twine, so I wanted to add a little bit to my flower pots. So I just tied a little knot in the back and made sure the rope was around all 3 of my jars. Next, I looped the rope all the way around, and I decided that 3 times looked great. If you're using a different size mason jar than I am, and I just had some extras of this quart size, you might want to go around a few more or less times. Next, I'm going to go through the middle of one set of the mason jars, make an X behind the middle one, and then go through this other set of mason jars. This made a little pattern with my rope, and I just think it's really cute. It's also a nice way to hold them together and to make them look like more of a set. I tied a little knot in the back and cut off the extra rope. Now, guys, if you're going to move this around a lot, you're probably going to want to add a little bit of hot glue to make sure that that stays secured. Next, I decided that I didn't like the order that they were in after all, because I decided I wanted to put pink flowers in the middle and I didn't want them to be in the pink flower pot. However, this was really easy to switch out. So now that I know how easy it is to change the jars, I think I'm going to make different colors of these to go for all the seasons. And I'll still be able to use my little rope. So I'm just going to add some greenery. And some flowers right in the middle. Now I'm using artificial flowers, but if you're going to use real ones, you can just go ahead and put a smaller container inside with some water. That way your flowers won't be exposed to the paint. I love the way this came out. It's bright, it's beautiful, and it's sitting in my kitchen now and brightening things up, and I absolutely adore it. We have one more DIY for spring flowers, but this time they're edible. It's time to eat. So I'm going to take some pretzel sticks, some green candy melts or white chocolate with green food coloring, some M&Ms, and you can get the spring colors too, that would be adorable. And I'm using these mini Oreos, or you can use marshmallows cut in half. I'm going to take my candy melts and melt them per the instructions on the back of the package and put them in an icing bag or a plastic bag with the tip cut off. I'm going to use my candy melts as a type of glue to glue the pretzel sticks onto the back of my M&Ms. Next, I'm going to use my green candy melts to make little leaves on my flowers. Next, I'm going to grab my M&Ms and pull out some yellow ones. Then I'm going to put one dab of melted candy right in the middle of my M&Ms and use that as glue to glue on my yellow M&Ms. Next, I'm going to make a circle of melted candy all around my yellow M&M, and I'm going to glue on my petals for my flowers. Now, this is where those spring colored M&Ms look really nice. Soon you're going to have the option to have purple M&Ms, pink M&Ms, all fun flavors to make these little candy flowers out of. These are perfect for parties, you guys. They're extremely poppable. They're super cute. You just pick them up with the pretzel stick and bite them right off, and they're delicious. You are going to love these. Pop them in the fridge for a few minutes for the candy to harden, and they're ready to go. I hope you enjoyed these spring DIYs for flower pots to brighten your day a little bit. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please head down to the comments and let me know which DIY you like the best, and don't forget to tell me what was the best part of your week. Let's brighten the days of everyone who reads the comments, guys. All right, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.